It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Full Battery, and this is the last summit for Season 5, and you get to earn a special edition Rimac Nevera Time Attack Edition. It's kind of nice. Looks very similar to the original Rimac, but it performs pretty well, and I think you guys are going to want to chase this one. All right, let's go. Real quick before we get into it, there's a bunch of Motorfest tools that will make your life easier in Motorfest on my website, militiagamingco.com. Click on Motorfest tools from the top, and there you will see pro settings and a interactive map and a whole bunch of stuff that you can use there. Anyways, let's get into it. The cars for this week in the Summit Bundle are the Lamborghini Terzo Millennio and the Lotus Evija. Those are both hypercars. In fact, we're doing all hypercars this week, so it is going to be sort of a skill issue week. I knew it was for me anyway. The additional vehicles that you need this week are the Rimac Nevera, the base model, and you're going to need a slalom car, preferably AGP. Make sure you have score breaker with pure and skilled, and then you're going to need a plane also with pure and skilled with a score breaker set on it. Those are basically non-negotiable if you want to get a high score. You can have a terrible run, still get a very high score on your feats just by having the parts. All right, the keys to this summit are going to be gutter turns. They're probably more important in this summit than they have been in any other summit so far. And then the shortcuts, there's a lot of shortcuts this week, a lot of flying and jumping and cutting over mountains and going through grass and all the things that a lot of the community gets frustrated about, but it is the game. So anyways, let's get into it. Here are the pro settings, and then we'll get into the events. All right, the first event is called Time Attack, and for this one, you're using the lone vehicle, the Rimac Nevera Time Attack Edition. It's a beautiful looking car. I know some of you guys are not too excited about it being very similar to the original, but it actually performs very well. So the keys to this race are definitely going to be your gutter turns. There's a few really important ones. This one is kind of important to keep a lot of speed, but there's a few right here. This next turn here, really important to be in the gutter to keep speed, and then the following 3 turns. So you want to hit this one. I missed it. Just note that one. This one here, I didn't do it so well. And this one, again, not so well. Now, when you get outside of this, don't use all of your NOS. Use a little bit. Try to get yourself up to speed, but you're going to have to slow down anyway, so don't use more than half. Cut across the grass here at 20%. And then these next 2 gutter turns are super important. This car gutters extremely well. This gutter right here is very easy to overshoot though. So don't enter it at like full speed. Let your NOS regen on this part. Hit this gutter here. I hit it at 145. That's really fast actually. I'm sure you can do it faster. The sweats are doing it way faster than me, but anyways, super fast. This guide might be a little bit longer today because I'm trying to help you guys get this car. At 30%, you're going to cut across the grass here because you're going too fast to make this turn naturally, and there's a little bit of a jump here. So you want to make sure you cut it early. Gutter turn over here at 33. All right, then stay on the road. At the bottom of the hill, you're going to do a drift turn. So if you don't know how to flick the car like that, it's handbrake and NOS at the same time as you're turning. Just make sure you just barely tap it. If you do too much, you'll spin around. So go across. There you go. All right, let's fast forward to some more important parts. This turn here at 53 is a gutter turn. Make sure you slow down for it. Then immediately after, another gutter turn here. And this turn's really hard. This turn is really easy, to overshoot this turn. So get in the gutter early. It's really easy to overshoot. I took it slow because I kept overshooting into that fence. Now right here is all about NOS management. Don't use too much of it. You're on a straight. You need to get up to top speed, but you don't want to leave yourself with no NOS. So don't go past half. Whatever you do, don't go past half. Just manage your NOS nicely on this section. On this hard left-hander, I would reset this flag. And then basically you're home free after that. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Dynamo, and this is with the regular Rimac Nevera. This is a race we all know too well, but there are some important factors here with this being a hypercar. that I want to bring attention to. So let's fast forward to those. On this corner, I ran a faster time by taking the gutter and making this turn. I believe I hit the wall a little bit instead of going over this these bushes to reset the corner. Usually you would fly over these bushes, reset. I actually did better this way. Especially with these electric cars, they accelerate very, very well. So you don't necessarily have to reset that one. Gutter turn here. Again, this car gutters so well. Slow down, gutter turn here. And then this is going to be a reset here. And then you're going to gutter these next turns. Another one here. And another one here. Gutter turning all day long on this one. When in doubt, you gutter it out, man. All right, here it's important to get up to top speed or close to it. You definitely want to be going fast and go straight to the checkpoint. Reset. Be holding straight. Don't turn when you reset that because you'll end up in the gutter. It sets you on a straight path, so don't worry about it too much. All right. Gutter turn here. Another gutter turn here. Basically, all the turns in this race are going to be like that. At 61%, you're going to cut to the left of this checkpoint and start going towards the next checkpoint. You can see it if we back it up here. So you cut to the left of the checkpoint. You can see the next one right there. Go towards it. Let the car start to fall before you NOS. Falling, then NOS. And make sure you're pointing the car to the left because you don't want to get stuck up in this hill. Keep pointing it to the left. There you go. Now you're back on the road. Hit the gutter. And you're good to go. The remainder of these turns, the whole rest of the course, is gutter turns. So you need to make sure you're hitting them. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to put up a decent time. I will say this. If you have issues with gutter turns, I do have a gutter guide. We'll put a link to that in the description so you can learn a little bit more about guttering. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Evijalive, and this one is with the Evija. So this is a race, again, we've seen lots of times in the summit. There's a bunch of things that you can do to, shave off time. And one really insane cut that takes off a tremendous amount of time until they add a checkpoint to it. Anyways, let's fast forward to that. I strongly recommend managing your NOS here. Notice I waited until the NOS was almost all the way full before I started using it. And I was above 210 miles an hour. You basically want to get the car over 290 for this section. So use it to get over 290. Takes you to about half. Right over this hill here, you're going to cut left. Go straight towards the next checkpoint. Use a little bit of NOS. Try to stay in control. Then use NOS again right outside of it. Now this one, your visual cue is this green wall here. You're going to make the cut here and just continuously hold left on your steering and don't let go of the throttle. Literally don't let go of it. Keep hitting, turning left on your steering. You want to hit this left side of this wall here. Try not to hit the brick wall. Just go through this one. And then keep holding left. Just keep holding it. Once you get there, use your NOS. Get back up to speed. This corner here, you have to stay wide and then cut back into the gutter. Otherwise, you will hit that wall. Try to get into the gutter on that turn as well. Use a little bit more NOS. Now, this one, you have a little bit of a choice. I recommend doing this. So this rock here has a little bump in it and you have to get really, really lucky. But if you hit this, the car, and you hold back on your sticks and NOS at the same time, the car will fly through the checkpoint and over the wall and then continue on where you go. If you look at the mini map, you go straight here, you're cutting off a huge section of this road. You can get back on the road there. It didn't work out for me. I tried it a few times, couldn't get it. But it does happen every once in a while. The car just like pops up into the air and you can get over the wall, and it's a huge time saver. It'll probably save you, 10 to 12 seconds, which is a lot. But doing it this way is okay as well. So basically you go through here, and if you don't get popped over the wall, just reset the second you hit the wall. So look, see how it pops up a little bit? I didn't get it, so I reset. And you're, on the other side of the wall here. Now, when you get to about 60%, you're going to cut to the left of the wall, the right side of the wall. Try to control yourself, go through here. NOS when you get into the air. And you're going to go, basically, you're aiming for this checkpoint, but you have to go around this wall and you got to get close to it. This is about as close as about as far away as you can get and still get the checkpoint. But if you get close, you get the checkpoint, then NOS down the hill and be turning left. because you can cut to the left of this flag and just continue on like this across the field. This car keeps incredibly good speed. Cut again to the right. It keeps incredibly good speed off-road. And there you go. That's the biggest cut in the race. Let's move forward. Now, if you're having trouble controlling the car, you're not really used to gutters, you can actually go straight here. I want you to experiment with it. I don't have a clip for you because I didn't go that direction, but you can go straight through these arrows and towards the next checkpoint. There's a bunch of trees and stuff, but you can find a little path through there, and that ends up being faster. If you can't take these curves fast, that ends up being faster for you. So give that a shot if you have to. But that's basically it for this race. All right, the next event is called Hypercondensed, and for this one, I do recommend the Rimac Nevera. This one is, there's no checkpoints in this one, so you can kind of do what you want to do. I start out by going left, cutting between this car and the pole, and then we're on our way. And the first cut is a doozy, so let's get to it. All right, it's right here at about 5.19 miles left. You can see this big rock on the left. You're actually going to slow down quite a bit and then cut left after the rock. Your goal here, which I'm not going to be able to show you in this clip because I went a little bit wide, but you can see my tracks here. Your goal is to hit the top of this rock. And if you can look on the mini map, you're trying to connect basically with this road here, because that will, you know, send you on your way and cut out this entire section. So here's how this happened to me. I kind of went through this, got really lucky, and then used a lot of NOS in the air to get going. Now I'm at 200 miles an hour ish, so I figured this is good enough. Let's keep going. So sometimes that will happen to you as well. It's a really tough cut, and you got to keep trying. Now this next cut is pretty easy. Just go straight up over the hill to the left of the trees. NOS, and you're on your way back to the road. You can also cut this hill as well. Again, use air, NOS, you know, every single time you're in the air, you should be using NOS. I also cut to the left of this, and I went across the beach. Now there's probably a little bit faster way to take this. In fact, you could probably cut this hill quite a bit more than I did. Maybe get some air NOS, but this cut is definitely viable. I went through the water and everything. I'm NOSing this whole time, and it caused me to go wide. So I'm not super happy with this. I'm probably going to go back and optimize this one. But the score I got was pretty good. So I know that cut is viable. I just have to do it the right way. At the very end, I do recommend slowing down as much as you can and cut this corner as well. You have to use the wall to stop you a little bit. No problem there, but that's it. You're home free. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called 3000. This is with the Terzo Millenio. This is the one that I struggle with the most because there's not really a lot of cuts necessarily. It just takes a lot of skill and a lot of driving. There's a couple places where you're going to like drift turn and there's a reset. So let's get to those. All right, so this turn here at 7%, I drifted. The car is incredibly sticky. So if you drift, you got a lot of traction, and if you use NOS, you can get back going straight. So don't be afraid to drift that turn. All right, right here at 18%, you're going to go left towards the next checkpoint and reset. It respawns you at like 80 miles an hour. It's perfect, and you're going straight. So it's a perfect reset. On this corner, I like to cut to the right a little and slow down, and then go across the dirt, rejoin with the road, get going. Also cut that corner a little bit. And then on these bridges, there's two of them. You can kind of like cut to the left a little, then sort of drift it and get back on the road. You still have to control your speed, but definitely cut these corners. The second one is here at 66%. Again, cut the corners. If you're going to hit the wall, make sure the back of the car hits the wall first. And then you don't get the slowdown penalty. And usually when this race is up, I like to mention that this turn here at 88, you can actually take it fairly fast. I took it at 200, but I was just trying to be safe because I had a decent run going. But you can actually take it really, really fast. You just experiment with your speeds. You probably do 240 on that turn. Anyway, that's it. When you get to this last part here, you can just NOS straight to the finish line because it's just kind of like a little, not straight shot, but diagonal to the left, and you're there. All right, the last event is called Shock, and this is with the Lotus Evijalive again. So this one actually is tough as well. So let's get to the parts where, you know, you can do some tricky stuff. First cut is here at 12%. Cut across the beach and NOS in the air both times. Then the next cut is the next corner. I cut the corner to the left of the flag just to make it a little easier. Then you can use some NOS to get going again. All right, slow down when you get to about 48%. Cut close to this car and try to keep yourself on the road. That's a tough one because there is a bunch of like little bumps and stuff. And then you can cut this corner at 51 as well and get yourself back up to speed. At 70%, you're going to cut the corner a little bit on the left. And then again right here at 71. And then continue on. Obviously use some NOS to get back up to speed. Then when you get here at about 84%, you can cut left of this flag. Then right after the wall, crossed here. I went a little bit slow in this section. I think I can definitely go faster. The next one, go left of this flag as well and hit this gutter. And then you can use NOS to get back up to speed, but you're also going to want to hit this gutter here. And I missed it. So it is what it is. I like this as a drift turn. Didn't work out so well this time. I didn't control myself, but I got an okay time. 47 is not terrible. Could have been a lot better, but there you go. That's this one. All right, here are my 3 feats. We'll let these play out like always, and I'll be back with the final scores. All right, here are my final scores. Make sure you DM me with any questions. I know a lot of you guys are going to try to get this car this week. So if you have questions about the summit, don't hesitate to send a DM. I literally answer every single message. All right, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hope this helps. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.